Hi everyone. So in today's video, I will be answering your questions about cosplaying. I asked you guys on my Instagram to send me some questions or if there's anything you're curious about cosplaying. If you're new here, I'm Mendokichi and I do cosplays and make my own costumes. You can check out my Instagram for cosplay updates. So this video will be a sit down and conversational video. If you're interested in more videos like this, let me know in the comment section. So let's start with the first question. The first question is, how long have you been cosplaying? I've been cosplaying since 2020. It's still very recent, but I really saw my growth in just 2 years. When I started, I was doing casual cosplays with clothes that I already own, and now I've been making my own costumes. Next question, any plans for the next cosplay? Well, there's an upcoming convention here in the Philippines this July. I'm planning to go as Marin Kitagawa from my Dress Up Darling, but I'm still deciding if I'm gonna do a Shizuku-tan version or a Marin Schoolgirl. So that's probably gonna be my next cosplay. Although I also planned on making a Femme Tengen from Demon Slayer. I even bought fabrics for that costume, so we'll see about that. Next question. Any tips for beginners hoping to start big? I think it would really be difficult to start big unless you have unlimited funds like Daisuke Kambe. So my tip for beginners is always start small. There's no rush in doing cosplays. If you have funds, do it. But there's also nothing wrong with waiting and saving up for it. When I started cosplaying, I didn't want to spend much. That's why I tried to find ways that I can cosplay without having to spend much or buying costumes. I guess that's also the reason why I make my own costumes. It makes everything cheaper. Another tip is, if you want to grow your account, you need to be very active in posting and interacting with the people in the app. Of course, you will be attracting more people if you post quality images. So that's my third tip. So you need good quality images. And in order to achieve that, you must take photos in good lighting. I've been taking my photos using my smartphone ever since, and as long as you have good lighting, you'll definitely get better photos. My phone is just an average smartphone. I don't like buying expensive gadgets or flagship phones, so you don't need to worry about having expensive phone just to take photos. Fourth tip is, don't be afraid to add elements on your images or retouch it. I always edit my images and I add something fun or interesting with it. Like my JoJo cosplays, I always add a stand graphics in my image just to like have the feel that I'm really the character. I also fix up some minor details that makes a huge difference, like fixing the hair through Photoshop. So yeah, don't be afraid to touch up your images. Everybody does it, as long as you know the limits on what you can do or what you should do. Next question is, how much does it cost or time it takes per cosplay? Let's look at the costumes that I've made so far. The first ever costume that I made from scratch is my Rem costume, which is a maid outfit. The materials I used for this cost around 500 pesos or $10. I used cheaper fabrics for this because it was my first time and I didn't want to risk an expensive fabric. But since I made a petticoat for this costume, I still needed to use a lot of fabric to have this puffy effect. I also didn't use a wig for this cosplay, so I didn't spend anything on that. Then we have my Sophie costume. This is probably the most expensive costume I've made. Aside from the fabric, I also bought a pattern. I bought a pattern because this was historically inspired costume and it would take me a long time and long hours of research just to figure out how to make the pattern, so I decided to buy it instead. So I got two patterns, one for the walking skirt and the other for the shirt waist, and that's around $15 to $20. So around 800 to 1,000 pesos. Then for the fabric, I also used quite a lot because the costume had a lot of pieces. Like I made a full set of Victorian inspired undergarments which had the petticoat, the corset, the chemise. So the cost of my fabric was probably around 1,500 to 2,000 pesos, or $20 to $30. The total cost for this costume without the wig is around $50 to $60. So those are some of the examples of the costumes that I made and how much I spent on them. But I also do a lot of closet cosplays. Like an example would be my Yunogasai cosplay. I just put together clothes that I have in my closet, like the black tennis skirt, a bralette top, and also a corset which I made from my scrap fabrics. So the total cost for this costume is zero because I just took whatever I can find in my closet or made something out of my scraps. I also have cosplays with minor expenses like my Femme Caesar. I bought a tank top online which cost me around 50 pesos or $1, and the headband which cost around 100 pesos or $2. So I think cosplays can be really expensive, but it can also be really cheap. You just have to be smart and creative about how you will approach a particular cosplay. Next question, where do you get your wigs? I buy wigs online, and I actually made a wig haul video which I will be posting next week, so stay tuned for that. Next question, what's a cosplay idea for dudes that I can walk around with in public? I like this question. First character I could think of is Gojo Wakana. If you're into wearing a kimono style, that could definitely work. Another recommendation is black-haired Kaneki or black-haired Juzo from Tokyo Ghoul. I like their casual outfits, it's very casual. You can also do Gojo Sensei or Nanami, which I think is pretty decent if you're gonna walk around in public. There's a lot of casual cosplays out there, so yeah. If you like something from JoJo, I would also recommend a Caesar, like what I did. I just wore a tank top and some baggy jeans, and the important thing for that is the headband. Yeah, I think it's very wearable in public. Next question, ever cosplayed a series you haven't seen or read? That's a spicy one. I have. When I first started cosplaying Jolene, I haven't read the manga yet. I already archived those posts on my Instagram, so you probably don't know it. I did read the manga after that, and this was before the anime was even released. When I read the manga, I used it as reference so that I can make my own Jolene costume, which is really helpful. So I think if you're making a costume by yourself, it's really good to read or watch the manga before actually making it, because there's a lot of things or references there that you can use that you can't get by just googling the character's outfit. I think the biggest factor on why you should know a character before cosplaying it is so you can bring the character to life, and you can only do so if you know the character's personality in the series. So yeah. Next question, your most favorite cosplay you've done? Currently, my favorite is Femme Bucciarati. The costume turned out exactly how I wanted it, and it looks super nice, so I really love it. Next question, your least favorite cosplay you feel like it needed more work? Honestly, I think it would be my Jotaro cosplay. It's not that I don't like it. I love all my cosplays. It's just that I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not satisfied with the photos that I took. I don't even know why my Jotaro post suddenly blew up on Instagram. In my opinion, I have better cosplay photos than that. But I think one thing that I would probably change costume-wise is the wig. But I still don't know what wig I should replace it with, or what wig would look better with a Jotaro femme version. So yeah. Next question, something you would change about cosplay culture or fans? So this will be the last question. I love the people around me, and you've all been so good to me ever since, like from the start, from the beginning of this. I haven't really experienced anything super negative ever since I started cosplaying. Like, there are like stupid comments online, but like something very negative, I haven't really gotten it, I guess. Probably I'm just like, I just don't care if they said something bad, I guess. But yeah, but I did see some posts by other cosplayers regarding people judging their cosplays by saying stuff like, your skin is too dark for that character, or that's not how this character looks like. I also saw a post of a cosplayer that someone messaged them about editing or painting the costume in their photo instead of wearing an actual costume. I just want to say something about that to all the people commenting or messaging stuff like that to cosplayers. Don't take everything so seriously. No one is asking you to critique our work. If you enjoy what we do, thank you. But if you don't have to go the extra mile of telling us your negative opinion. We do what we do because we love doing it. There's no right way in doing stuff, especially in art. What we do here is art. You cannot give us a proper way to do art because there's no such thing. The world is already cruel. You don't need to add to that. We can all be nicer to each other. So yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this chit chat, and I really hope you learned something from it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.